Puddin, are you ready for your replay, sir?
Yes.
All right, let's get this started. This is Puddin's replay, and we are looking at a clan battle. So we can see the lineup here. We've got Montana, St. Vincent, Puerto Rico, Moskva, Napoli, Shimakaze, Smallland for Team TNG. And then you're up against a Vermont's an Incomparable, a Nevsky, Moskva, Napoli, Kleber, Yu Yang. And this is an A team that you're up against, ARPGT. All right.
Now,
So I got to ask, what do you know which league this was?
this was qualifiers to get into Storm. If you pause it real quick,
Sure.
a lot of these lower league teams, like they'll take a strategy and not fully understand how to play it or what they're going up against. The strategy we are going up against is a Smoke Nevsky. The
Okay, my
Nevsky
music is
dies,
loud. Hold on.
it's game over for the other team because that's what they're playing for. Most of the TNG guys are new-ish to clan battles, so I know it's a Smoke YY because they brought a Nevsky. Right, you're not going to pair
Okay.
the Nevsky with the Napoli per se, so it has to be a Smoke YY. But I always tell these guys, assume it's radar until proven otherwise. Still,
Uh-huh.
right? You're going to see me do something, and Zath can attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
At the start of the game, I've got my guns looking at B. Why? Because if a cruiser gets spotted, he's going to be broadside, and you can try to delete it.
Mm-hmm.
This is from playing a lot of clan battles at a higher tier.
Okay.
Right? They've got a Vermont. Right? Normally, you're going to bring a Vermont for cross shots. You know, because it is slow. Incomp has got the speed. So I'm thinking it's going to be YY, Nevsky, like either 1-2 or 9-10. Right? It's one of the two flanks.
Yep.
With the Vermont, once again, wherever the Vermont gets spotted, it's going to be the other side. But once you see the Incomp or you see the Smoke YY, that could be their push side. They're looking to go after the DD, which is, you know, somewhat why you bring the Kleber to maybe shore up getting that pick on the destroyer early.
Sure. Now, if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking Kleber is going to go for that quick cap on C. That's my guess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. But like I said, this entire strategy, I mean, and this is all just from lineup, right? Like, we haven't even started. And I'm like, I'm helping Drunk with this, you know, and I'm like, you know, Vermont's looking for this. It's a radar YY, even though I'm like, it's got to be Smoke because there's a Nevsky. You can attain so much information just by this. Like, if you look at our lineup, yes, we were limited with Ted. He had a Puerto Rico. So, like, that's by that. Ours is more of a reactionary lineup, trying to figure out what they're doing. More than, like, the other team is going to be a little bit more aggressive because you got to smoke Nevsky.
Gotcha. Okay. Are we ready to go now? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. A couple quick things I see in chat. First of all, Skyring, thank you very much for the resub. 37 months, dude. So just over 3 years of supporting the channel. I mean, and you've won a lot of premium ships in the process of doing it, which is awesome. So thank you again for the support. I saw Skyrus in here. Hello. And yes, I'm hoping to get back to a more normal schedule that includes streaming next Sunday, which is Christmas. And here's our Dirty Water song. The reason why the music was so loud was a certain person in voice chat here said he could not hear the music, so I wanted to make sure that the music was hearable. All right, so anyways, yeah, I'm thinking...
want to be on the ship for the start here.
All right.
Instead of the overview.
There we go. So now we're taking a look at Putin's view.
If you notice, I'm having Miss Patriot.
No, I called you Sanctus, I thought.
Going in a little deep.
Oh yeah, Miss Patriot's in this game too, in the Shima, and she's got 20-kilometer torps. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a fan of 20 KM. You've been doing this long enough too. Where do all the ships go? Oh, look, the Mossbot's going in a Mossbot spot. To nobody's surprise.
Right.
Mm.
So you just torp
Be
it.
safe, right? You know, why are my guns looking at B low like this? Because I need to get the quick shot off. This is going to be a burst damage moment. If he gets spotted. Pause it here.
Okay. And no Sanctus, I said Skyrus, and because Skyring is Skyrus in the game. That's why it's confusing.
How many people think that Nevsky's broadside?
Well, I certainly do, for one. That Nevsky is most certainly broadside.
So he's, if you look at the Navigator mod, it shows 63, and you've got American Piercing, so you get that extra, you know, chunk into it.
Now, the other thing is I aimed low at the waterline, knowing he is coming in a bit, because what that means is my shells are going to land a little bit higher, and they're going to get the plunging fire. Right? Even if they do drop in waterline, there's a better chance for the Citadel coming in, right?
Yeah,
right.
The off chance that he actually tries to pull a turnout, there's a higher likelihood that he actually ends up walking right into the broadside. Right into that broadside.
The other thing, there's a Nevsky. Anybody know where the YY is going to be?
In front of the Nevsky.
Right
as a smoke, if it's a smoke.
Right. So let Miss Patriot know this. Like, I know this. It's like, here's the difference, though. These guys are like, how do you know this stuff? I've played with
you
the
play
Hurricane
so much
teams, right? It's not just I played so much. I've played with the Hurricane teams. I've been to the Promised Land. I've played with them. Right? These are things that they are constantly talking about, thinking about, looking at. Right? Yeah. The YY has to be there.
Yeah. Well, it's the only logical option.
The other
YY
thing is, I'm thinking they're probably sending the Incomp over here.
Because it's fast and get on the flank.
That's right.
And because you'd expect the Vermont, you said looking for a cross shot, so he's going to be probably south of Seacap. So yeah, it makes sense to send a flanking force over. That would be Yu Yang and Nevsky and Incomparable, and then go around the corner. Meanwhile, I see you guys are setting up for a pretty heavy sea push.
Yeah, the thing that we've done is, and I know you can attest to this, I have this ability to just survive for as long as humanly possible. Right?
Which is why you and Patriot are over there by yourselves.
I got Miss Patriot to, just try to push the DD back.
Okay.
Right. It's win C and then have them come back and either get our cap or take theirs from them, right?
Right. And have them charge into Miss Patriot's 20-kilometer torpedoes. That's the other key is, you want to be on the side that the enemy is probably going to push from. Because if you can be there, those torpedoes are much more impactful when the enemy's charging towards you. So the two of you guys together are very well suited to blunt the enemy push, but also make them feel like they have to come this way if so much of your ships are at sea.
I mean, exactly. It's me and I will be spotted till the end of time.
And you don't care.
No.
You just survive for as long as humanly possible, and I think that's really just the goal of having that stalling battleship.
That's right.
Vincent, the Moskva, the Puerto Rico, and the Napoli, and the small ones can make a play on sea, and hopefully just win the game with 2 caps. And that's also another point where this early shot on the Nevsky comes. If you can get him out of the game immediately, or at least cripple him severely where he has to back off, that means less map pressure.
Well,
that's right.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter the rest of their ships. It's a smoke Nevsky.
Okay.
If that Nevsky dies, it's GG. It really is just that simple. Even if
because
you kill the YY, it's GG because the Nevsky now doesn't have a smoke. Those are the 2 most important kills. Either you kill the cruiser or you kill the DD that's smoking the cruiser. Guess what? Their strategy is now flawed. And they have a harder time trying to win.
Because the thing about the Nevsky is it's really good anti-destroyer. So you want to get that radar out, or you want to, like you said, get the Yu Yang out so the Nevsky can't hide behind the smoke. Either of those options will keep them out. Sanctus, thank you for the resub. 19 months, really appreciated it, and really good to see you again. Shall we continue the game?
Yes. Here's the other, you can continue, but here's the other reason why I like 20 kilometers. He's 17 for me, she's 3 for me, which puts him at 15. or so. 12-kilometer torps are never ever going to make it.
No.
There's one Citadel on a broadside target, right?
Yep.
And I tell Miss Patriot, just send all your torps down the middle,
Yeah.
right? Just send them down that channel. That is a channel everybody loves to use, so you just deny them that.
And then here's a
Probably shoulda
broadside
had-
Napoli.
Probably should have had HE loaded for the Napoli, because, I mean, let's just face it, it's troll-ass armor.
Oh man,
Napoli.
right after you fired, there's the Moskva. Oh.
Now,
No, wait. If you want to pause in here, there's
Okay.
a Clubber. Clubber doesn't have smoke.
No, and there's smoke coming behind it. Oh man, they are all coming hard for B, harder than you'd expect.
But here's another thing: some teams, like the lower, immediately as soon as they saw the Vermont and the Moskva, just push through C. They're doing a hard push this way.
Yep.
An
Yep.
A-B push does not work if you completely leave C wide open.
Right.
You have now turned into a huge cross shot. The time it takes you to do home cap to home cap takes too long.
Right.
You have
Alright.
to have something at C, whether sacrificial or not.
Mm-hmm. And
Guess
that Yu
who's gonna
Yang is
show
actually
me-
perfect for that.
Yeah, guess who's going to show me broadside again?
Um.
Like,
It's
I don't
literally gonna
understand. I don't understand how the Snefsy even got spotted.
it can't be smoke firing penalty, so it's you probably just glide
No,
it
no,
off.
no. But spotted by who? Because look how close Miss Patriot is to me. Right? She's now coming forward.
Well, those torpedoes are
thinking-
about to hit the smoke. There it is.
I'm thinking, you know, Nevsky was going to stand there, but
Come on, let's
Miss
go take a look.
Patriot's, let's see, she's 1-9 from me. Yeah, so Miss Patriot got the Nevsky spotted.
Yep.
Why did this guy never radar? Not once
That's-
was Patriot spotted. If you are a radar cruiser who is
Mhm.
very close to, like, the Nevsky can actually stealth radar, which is why I told her to be in reverse, because you need to W out of the radar.
Right.
I never radared once to spot Miss Patriot.
Well,
Could
let's
have
see.
had her at the
Capacity's
start.
covering too.
He could have hit her at the start, and you need to do it because it tells you what DD is over here for what torps are coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Is it a spotter plane?
And I was
Nevsky?
gonna eat what? How many does he eat? Like 3? Easily eats 3. Like
No,
He's gonna eat 1 or 2.
no, he's fast enough.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably his radar.
now he's spotted, but now the shot's out on you. He eats 2,
Yeah.
and there you go.
Yep.
And
So-
and
out.
Nevsky's dead.
And
He
that's
just didn't
wow.
react fast enough. Like, why are you going into smoke without your hydro
yep.
present too?
More to the point, why are you going out of the smoke when you know there's a destroyer there? That's the other question.
Do you know
Like,
there's a destroyer there?
No,
Well, I mean,
because
if
he
you
didn't
got-
use his radar till it was too late.
That's what I mean. They had no idea the Shima was there, unless the Kleber said I'm spotted and it's you know too close to the or too far away from the Montana to be spotted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well, what you
that's-
do for that smoke is you stop at the island and creep forward a little bit with your hydro. Wait for the torpedoes to pass. Smoke is going to last way longer than the torps going by.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's
Oh
do it.
look, there's the incomp. General Kenobi.
And, like, you know, they
Oh,
immediately
there's
push... Like, they immediately push something onto the camp. Well, it's the Clubber and the Napoli.
Well,
Clever
I gotta
Yang
say,
and Napoli.
it's a good job of your Moskva to turn around when they recognized
Uh-oh.
the hard push.
I pinged for him to put there, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and now this Napoli is trapped because he has to bow into the Moskva, the Napoli and the St. Vincent, and he has to get broadside to you. Like, it's a
So,
dream.
and that's why you put a Moskva on that island when you rotate back. Moskva is safe from anything hitting his broadside. There are now
Yep.
broadside to me
Okay.
or Moskva.
Why haven't you healed yet or used DCP?
Adrenaline rush. I
That's
was,
cool,
I was
though.
being greedy.
Go adrenaline rush, he says.
I mean, look how much health I'm gonna get back. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Montana's heal is by far one of the best heals in the game outside of Conquerors. There's no reason for you to... Oh, you turned interesting.
For those of you who don't know, Adrenaline Rush, the more damage you take, the quicker your guns reload, and obviously Puddin wants to shoot as much as he can. And you've got Brisk! Oh my god, Puddin.
Listen, when you need to put that distance, you gotta put the distance on.
Oh shit. For those of you guys who don't know, Brisk, which is one of Mara Draco's favorite battleship abilities anyway, if you're not detected by anybody, you go faster, like, what is it, 12% faster or something like that?
A 8% speed boost, I believe. Also, put her right behind you.
It's usually just enough to where
Yeah.
if you are showing side and you go dark,
Yeah,
those
you can get
shots
out.
are not gonna be at the Citadel.
Right, or their torpedoes will miss if they're white lined and you're going straight, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
it's
question is,
3D
what was
thinking.
this Kleber is being very greedy, speaking of things. Like, I'm
Well-
not entirely sure what he expected.
Okay, here's the thing. I told Miss Patriot to smoke up, shoot whatever in cap. Look, was nothing left in the cap for her to shoot, so
Mhm.
I'm like, get out of there. The Kleber is coming.
Right.
Right.
And she got out of there very
And-
on time. Yeah.
And the Kleber, you never want to face a Kleber by yourself. Doesn't matter what ship you are. So, I think it makes sense.
This Moskva's having fun, by the way. And, like, there's so many crossfires going on because they all push their entire team to AB, which I've had my shot caller do this before. I was like, why did you do that? Because you've basically put yourself out of position to avoid getting crossfired
That's right.
if somebody pushes from C.
What's
So-
up, Tigerfish?
Here's the other thing. Where's the Moskva? Well, I mean, besides being next to Dead.
Hmm.
Way out of position to...
Nowhere near the A cap. So guess
No.
what we can do? Go right back in the A and take it. It's not who gets them first, it's who holds it the longest.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that people
They
don't
have
understand.
so
ever.
many low out stuff, and the only thing that can touch Miss Patriot is her screwing up. Right?
At
Pushing
this
into
point-
the club area a little bit close.
Yeah.
You know,
And there goes Moskva. He's dead.
Incomparable
So,
torpedoes, maybe.
Literally no radar pressure.
so I mean, guess who now can just easily take B cap?
The Smolensk
Yes.
and the Puerto Rico. It's... Yeah.
I mean, this is why in AB push, with nothing to stall the push coming out of C, will always fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not creating crossfires, and more to the point, you're just giving the enemy free run. Like,
Yep.
if they realize it's an AB push, they can literally just say, oh,
The enemy team gave us crossfires. I like to set up for you just own your own side. Right? Own your own side is going to win you a little bit more than trying to set up for crossfires, because most people are setting up behind islands. They're trying to protect from the crossfires, so just own your side. Well, guess what the side is? Their entire, they have nowhere to go.
Yeah. One thing I don't like is that you and your St. Vincent are so close now. I think your St. Vincent would have been better off continuing through C to open up that, those angles even more. Nice kill by Miss Patriot.
I
sort of agree, but
100% agree. It's newer-ish players,
That's okay.
right? And it's fine. Like, oh, what's getting on cap? Well, it ain't the incom. It's Club Air.
Nope.
Guess what else spots the Club Air?
the Shima cockpit.
Shima!
And
Yeah.
guess who can shoot the bear now? The Moskva.
Oh!
Guess who
But...
ran in the torpedoes, though?
Miss Patriot. Disaster.
But
It's
at
a
the same
disaster.
point, we traded the Club Air for the Shimmy.
Yeah.
And now the Yu Yang, when we know where the Yu Yang is, he's somewhere near the Vermonts, and both the Smalt and the Puerto Rico are still alive. Which basically means that Yu Yang has, like, very
It's all
little-
GG at this point anyway, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that Miss Patriot didn't take into account is there's a battleship, and there's a destroyer that wants to at least send sort of torps. Those torps were meant for St. Vincent, but she just caught them all.
Well, those were Napoli torps, actually. So I think they were headed for the Moskva.
Were they?
I think so.
For
Yeah.
Moskva?
I don't think so.
But I mean,
Well, they could have been St. Vincent. Yeah, now that I think about it. It's hard to tell.
It's one of those. It's flip the coin, right, on which way you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't take that into account, and Napoli torps are slow.
Right.
But
So, yes, that's you got on me. Wow. Now the next Courageous. Amazing. That kind of proves the point, though, right? Like, if you're going to do an AB push and you're not going to defend C, you might as well just give up, because you are never going to be able to execute that properly, because you've literally just launched yourself into a crossfire between two different sources. Like,
Nevsky accused me of cheating for getting 2 citadels on a broadside target.
Wow, as if Montana doesn't have an easy time doing that.
Yep.
Montana is still the king of killing cruisers. It's still the best.
I think this is gonna work.
What?
Nope. All right, I'll do it the other way. Give me a sec. It's been a while since I've done the replay rendering here. Stream. Right. There we go.
Now, I mean, what's funny is they had some of their, I would say, A group, their better players helping out.
They had 2 ARB members I saw, yep.
Like, none of them could either explain that either. Like, it's just, you don't do what the Nevsky did. You need to, if your whole strategy, look, he's angled in going in. He would have been better off staying more towards the G line, taking the safer route, than trying to get up close. For what? For nothing.
Either that.
Cruisers don't do enough damage taking that aggressive route, and you're way more susceptible from getting nuked.
Either that, or you need to have the smoke earlier to cover your transit over this channel here, because if you've got an enemy destroyer that's going straight to A, they're going to detect that cruiser. So, you pop the smoke earlier to get that cruiser to the island, wait for the next smoke. It's a yu-yang. You've got pretty quick reload on your smoke. And then the next smoke pops you forward. That gives you the added benefit of probably missing whatever torps are going to be luck chucked down the channel. So,
I mean, the other thing, the strategy works so much better with the smoke YY or a Hiraguma. Right, you use the Hiraguma to get spotted for the Nevsky to pop his radar, and that smoke lasts forever, and nobody wants to get close to.
Right,
because it's a
smoke or a Hiraguma.
I agree with Puddin, even though he's a Sox fan.
No, well, of course, my question. Well, at the same time, though, you could have just put the smoke further back, and well, you probably wouldn't have had the Nevsky that close in the first place, just to get completely janked by you.
My thing is, you don't put the Nevsky close because you can put the smoke across the channel where torps are definitely coming, because you do want to get the Nevsky up in position as soon as humanly possible.
And more to the point, Nevsky is also really fragile. Right? Like, look how quickly he just went down. It's not a Petro where it's like, oh, I angle like 10 degrees and he just bounces everything. No, that's not how this works. Nevsky just explodes the moment it's observed.
I mean, the idea behind that smoke Nevsky is you get up close and you use that radar, and then basically you just completely wreck whatever destroyer you find. And I'm sure that for that team, that strategy has worked very well previously. But this is just an example of really bad coordination, terrible use of smoke, and for the cruiser's movement, right? So you either basically say the Yu Yang should have smoked earlier to allow the cruiser to get into that position where he's safe, or the Yu Yang should have said, I'm going to smoke here, and it's the cruiser's job to not get shot at until he enters the area that the smoke is going to be. One of those two things needed to happen. Neither did, and that's what ultimately took them down. But this is a great example for those of you guys who are thinking of like getting into competitive modes and stuff like that. I mean, obviously clan battles, but also for King of the Sea. I've seen this so many times where the enemy just completely gives up, or one team completely gives up one cap or one side of the map, and it typically becomes a slaughter. And you saw that here.
Yeah, typically, and be honest, you should never do that, because
Here's the other thing. Look at all the focus fire we're doing. The
Yep.
clever. Everybody was shooting it that could.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? You've
That's
got to
right.
remember that. But they literally just gave us C. And
They gave it
especially
for
when you're
free.
going up against people that seen this
Mm-hmm.
before,
Mm-hmm.
they know immediately call to rotate. Right? We
Right.
didn't continue on with the big push to C. We spent most of our stuff back to get A again.
Right. Or at least to blunt their push.
Right.
So
In a small group to get B. Because if they continue to put everything at A, guess what? We just take B and
Yeah.
then just slaughter
Just-
them.
walk in. Cool. Unless you are Penta and Rain and ignore middle cap on diagonal map and take it later.
Because
Yeah, I
they
mean,
will just kill everything anyways. They out mechanical skill you, and then they win.
Right,
That's kind
so
of easy. But, like,
there's strategy
again,
and then there's
I'm-
ability to use this stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
I rag on a lot about people going one side push
Mm-hmm.
being a really bad idea, and especially on this map, it's not a good idea because look how much distance you have to cover between the 3 caps, right?
It's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of them.
Why are you bringing a Vermont? Right? You're doing a hard push. You're doing a hard home cap push.
Why isn't the Vermont stalling at sea with the Napoli? That's my question. Why isn't the Moskva in a position to receive the push from C? Why did they put everything? I mean, I'm just going to rag on about putting everything on one side of the map. Never do that. You should.
Right.
You just. Well, not only are you wasting, you're wasting, your resources by committing everything to a push that's just going to get stalled out because, guess what? Kiting is a lot easier to set up with and do than pushing. Pushing is hard in this game, but it's just by the design of the game, right?
All right.
That's just unavoidable.
But I mean, like I said, their game, their complete strategy was blown out of the water when the Nevsky died.
Yep.
Essentially, yes.
Right?
Yep.
That's the start of the game. Their strategy is no longer no good. That is the weakness to the Nevsky, the smoke Nevsky. Either the DD dies or the Nevsky dies, and it's nearly GG, unless it's like very late game where you win on one cap.